Greetings, this is RobertFoertsch with the YouTube channel Truth, and this is the 50th anniversary of the moon landing hoax. The photo for the thumbnail I shot a few minutes ago up at our house. Got to back up and say that again. This is the 50th year anniversary of the moon landing hoax. And I wanted to go ahead and show you what it looks like here in the Myrtle Beach area, South Carolina. This is the Russell R. Burgess Coastal Preserve, and what I wanted to show you is the sunrise here. I also have a P1000 recording going right now, zoomed in on the moon. First time I saw the moon like this, like the picture you're looking at, it just really blew me away because it wasn't a perfect sphere. There was moon missing. Not the shadow, not a shadow, it's just not there. And I screenshotted my camera, where I was when I did it. And I don't know if it was that day or another day where I did a similar shot of the moon. My friend Roberto Gigliardi from Australia posted a comment on my thread of a video that I shot and a photo that I posted that showed the moon from Australia at the same time. Apparently, according to the heliocentric or the spinning globe lie, the spinning wonder water ball, the water sphere, we shouldn't have been able to see it at the same time. So one of the clues that I want to give you and talk to you about is the way all these puddles look right in front of you. Okay, they're all flat and level. They're not all kind of close to the same. They're exactly the same. They're level, flat and level, stationary and level. So for dramatic effect, well, I'm going to back up. This will do right here. And I'm going to jump in front of the camera and talk for a moment about a couple of things. Before the end of this recording, I'm going to take us over to the open ocean, right in front of the Prince Pier, the Prince Resort at the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. There would be no level anywhere in the world if we were spinning, wobbling, and of course gyrating. We aren't gyrating. We didn't land on the moon. That's a lie. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the moon. And I'll talk a little bit less just because it's easier to see it. Without me talking too much. What I will say is that there's moon missing. We've got percentages of the moon at rise and set through its cycle in its course. Real clear, to be clear, the moon will set in the southwest today in the middle of the view. It came up in the southeast over the ocean. Meanwhile, the sun is appearing in the middle of the view here and will set in the middle of the view there. Two separate movements, can't be explained by a uniform supposed rotation of the Earth, meanwhile spinning, wobbling, and gyrating. None of that movement has ever been proven. I was out on Main Street last night in North Myrtle Beach till pretty late. And you can see the video if you want. It was dynamic. It was great. I enjoyed it. I'm going to have to move over a bit if we're going to see the sun as early as we can. It's going to break the plane any moment now. But there's a combination of things that I want to show you. And I believe I'm going to stay here because we'll be able to see the sun appear and how it lights up these tidal pools. Tide's coming in. High tide will be at 11:32 p.m. There I'm seeing the sun right now. Can you see it? Well, when I get home later on, you will, if you want to, from this vantage point, zoomed in. Based on the laws of perspective, and yes, Joe Rogan, there are laws of perspective. I can hashtag that too. You can look it up. I'm zoomed in really tight on the sun approaching. And you can see it against the architecture of the buildings over there. I'm the guy that captured the local sun as infinite Earth, flat Earth research, and many other occurrences of this very interesting dynamic of the sun appearing in the clouds. I don't have that appearance right now. I don't know if it'll happen today. But after, conservatively 10,000 hours of video and photo work that I've done over the last approaching 4 years, you'll be able to see it if you like. So I'm going to zoom in, or zoom out, I should say, just to put it in perspective. Now I've got a lot of occurrences where nighttime turns into day. It requires a lot of dedication through a variety of weather. High and low humidity, higher temperature, lower temperature. One of my videos is the moon coming towards us over the ocean from an elevation of about 100 feet and a temperature of about 16 degrees with about the same % humidity. It looks molten. The moon does. Very interesting. Job 37 says that the sun appears in the clouds. Joshua 10 says that God stopped the sun from moving. Look it up if you care to. Many, many locations, God's Word says that the Bible, that's the God I'm talking about. God's Word says in many, many locations that the earth is stationary and the sun, moon, and stars move above the earth. That's just the reality of it. And it's not based on popular opinion or what people want to believe. The truth isn't determined by popularity because, quite frankly, the truth, she ain't a popular. For all my truth-telling friends, of course, you know that. Yeah, that's how it works. And that's one of the very important dynamics. Are you willing to be ridiculed to tell the truth? One of the reasons for the broadcast here, is beautiful as the open ocean is, and I will get out there to show you that. Right on the other side of those buildings is the ocean. The way that the water is going to be lit up when the moon, or when the sun is high enough, it'll shoot through those. And even as we're talking, I've got the iPhone 10 recording as well as the P1000. Yesterday's video I shot, I showed you the sandbar. There was less of it visible because it was earlier in the day. The precision with which the water fills its container is perfect. Undisturbed water is flat and level. Yeah, it doesn't move. You can set a carpenter level on a counter, a granite counter, your window ledge. Take a look at it. The bubble shouldn't be moving. I mean, you might be in a seismic area. I've felt earthquakes. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, the overall reality is the spirit level, the bubble in the level will be stationary. And then there's a lot of people that'll right away say, gravity, gravity, like they just got hit with something and that's the automatic response. Gravity, oh well, believe whatever you want. I just prefer the truth. There's the light beam zoomed in right there. And I'll just back on out. There we go. And that light beam will shoot through the tidal pools and light all that up. It's just what it'll do. I'm going to zoom in once again on the moon. I can't always do this because sometimes it's too rainy, foggy, too much humidity, too many clouds. That's missing moon. It's just as it's supposed to be. It's as God created it. Sometimes the moon rise percentage and moon set percentage of the moon is different. You can utilize the Tides Near Me app if you want to. We got no rover and flag up there on the moon. This is zoomed in about 100 times. Let's see if I zoom in 125 times. There you go. Symmetrical craters. You can read the official story of how we got the moon. It's ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as saying we evolved from monkeys in that we live on a giant spinning water sphere hurling through space at a combined amount of movement over 1,000,000 miles an hour hurling through the galaxy. Well, that doesn't work for me. The truth works for me. I work for the truth. I work to expose that truth and that reality to a humanity that largely doesn't want to know, apparently, as best I can tell. Much of them. There's a lot of disapproval, and yet there's a whole group of people that are waking up to this. You can call me anytime. My phone number is 1-843-504-1776. If you want YouTube Truth stickers, you can send me a self-addressed stamp envelope at RobertFoertsch or YouTube Truth, 169 Cloverleaf Drive, Longs, South Carolina, 29568. I know it's personal information. The biggest threat to me isn't a thug that finds my address. It's the reality that artificial intelligence is pretty knowledgeable about a lot of things. However, I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. I create a lot of content that talk about that reality. It's the non-movement feature. I'm on concrete, which seeks level. I'll step right on up. Yeah, there you go. About that. So what will you do when the truth is right in front of you? I'm not just talking about my channel or my YouTube truth shirt. I'm talking about the reality of the world that we live in. I gotta show you the water sphere. Yeah, I'll be right back. So if a picture were worth 1,000 words, what's a video? Whole bunch of words. So I got something to show you. It's a repurposed Crown Royal bottle. I asked Logan Paul and Rich from the London Guardian, where in the world could a wind chime hang upside down anywhere in the world? Rich says gravity. I say, well, only in your imagination. Did Jesus turn water into wine? I believe so. And for me, what's really special is he turned whiskey into water. So I'm going to go ahead and take us on over to the open ocean. Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. This is more of a documentary kind of thing, vlogging kind of thing as well. I don't have a film crew here. This is just my own videography and photography that I shoot. The spinning water sphere. That happens only in the imagination. Yeah, what model do I believe in? The one that the Bible says the earth doesn't move and the sun, moon, and stars do. That works for me. That will do. Unfortunately, the bracket for my phone isn't functioning properly, but I don't need it for this anyway. So I've only got like 10 minutes left of this P1000 recording. I just wanted to show you the combination of a couple of things, and one of them is this. It says here, dead end, no turnaround. Just keep in mind, that's what I'm talking about. 3 people per second no longer have their human experience. And when you're dead, you can't turn around. Think about it. It's just the reality of that. Okay, there's the Prince Resort, oceanfront accommodations, condos for sale. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to show you some pretty good reflections right there. Flat and stationary level Earth. Oh yeah, how about that? It's just what it is. That's how I found it when I finally got woke up to the truth and I was actually born again, no longer a religious hypocrite. I found out that the earth doesn't move and that NASA lies. Okay? It's not unpatriotic to tell the truth. I believe it's very patriotic. What's the truth and the reality of the situation that we live in? Well, I'm showing you. Hopefully you like it. Ah, yes. The world is full of mirrors. What do they reflect and how? Here's the moon right there. And I've got a lot of content where I show the sun and the moon, the tidal activity, the people coming out to the beach to enjoy it. Hi Sally, good morning. It's an interesting look, isn't it? So right now I'm gonna get on down there. I'll be able to show you what I want when I get there. Good morning. But I can't show you that perspective from down there, this one. So I'm going to zoom in on all the people walking in the fog, the moisture, taking selfies, taking photos together, doing FaceTime, doing life, video chatting with one another, Snapchatting, updating their status, jogging with no technology on. It's a symphony of humanity. There's the moon right there, of course, and the Prince Resort. Beautiful place. I give stickers away. I gave a lot away. Last night it was pretty windy out there, and well, I was live and I wanted to give some stickers away. Okay, I'm gonna shoot through the sunbeam, and I'm gonna show you zoomed in views. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at the same magnification and pan on around and zoom up onto the moon from here. There we go. Same magnification. There we go. Some people say, well, all the planets are round. Why wouldn't the Earth be round too? Well, like a pancake. See, the moon isn't flat, as best I can tell. Neither is the Earth exactly. It's stationary and level, and there's texture. The moon is definitely not a perfect sphere. I've got video and photographic evidence of it. You can hashtag RobertFoertsch, and yes, I do have a Facebook and a Twitter. It's linked to my YouTube Truth channel. I've only got a couple minutes left of this P1000 recording. So I want to get on up right to the other side of the pier so I can show you what it looks like from here, this location. Because I'll be able to zoom in and show you some of that. I'll lean my shoulder up against that piece of wood there. The reason we can't see all the way across the ocean is moisture. We won't be able to see at sometimes the end of the pier, let alone Myrtle Beach or Europe. Okay, same magnification there on Myrtle Beach, and I'm going to zoom in on the moon. It's much closer. God's word says it's in the excuse me, that the sun, moon, and stars are in the midst of the clouds, or at least the sun and the moon are in the midst of the clouds. The stars are a bit further away. Call me anytime. Okay, this is RobertFoertsch with the YouTube channel Truth. Got another video attached to this one that I previously recorded and a live broadcast. Multiple videos going up today when I get home. You can see them tightly zoomed in. This is a turnaround point for a lot of joggers and walkers. Maybe a turnaround point for you. Here's another place that I can set my camera for the stationary non-movement feature of that. So I will hashtag the moon landing hoax on this video as well as the stationary level Earth that it is. Not moving. The sun, moon, and stars move, the wind moves, the water moves, the people move. The Earth, she's not a moving. Some people move a little different. You get a little older, you may get a little slower. All the, looks like a father-daughter shot there. So I've got multiple views and magnifications. So this is nice. There's, what does this say? Macy 2019. I don't see the I love Satan pentagram and swastika out here like I did earlier in the week. That isn't always here. It's the only time I ever saw it. It's on my live video. You can see it if you care to. Some people sell their soul for fame and fortune. What will it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? So people believe a lot of things, a lot of different things. Yeah, he just tapped the pier there. It's kind of the way it works. Now he's going on back. So some people will end up seeing my my YouTube Truth shirt. I meet them a lot of times with a smile. They may just get a sticker, or they might just go to my channel or not. It's not just the content that I've created. It's what other talented producers have created and share. A lot of my surfer friends will go to the channel. I met some young people last night. You can see it on the video. Ava knew that the earth was flat. No, we didn't go to the... Well, she was surprised about the moon landing hoax. She didn't know. Most of us believed the Santa lie. NASA lies, Santa lies, Satan lies. And some people will say, well, Santa's not lying. I'm talking about the collective deception of much of humanity to market products and trick people into tricking their children, their friends. Santa lies, all of them, the Santa lies. Hashtag it. You'll see me and Logan Paul at the Flat Earth Conference. He's sporting a beard, mocking me, mocking the truth. Oh well, it's not over for him yet, as far as I know. I don't know who he is, really, or what he is. Is he a child of God or a child of Satan? Is he a child of God that simply needs to be born of God's Spirit? Maybe he's just doing his own thing right now. He's only 24 now. How old is PewDiePie? I don't know. I'm not mad at these guys for mocking me or mocking the truth. It's just what they're doing right now. I got a person I thought was a friend of mine. He was pretty upset with me. Told me that it was a private beach down there in front of the Grand Dunes. He's got a oceanfront house. Not this guy. That's Luke. He's really cool. He's a good friend. Now this other individual last night, when I was down way over on the other side of where I'm going to zoom in, I'll show you. Let's see. There's a big bulge of water moving. So it's at the Grand Dunes in Myrtle Beach. He's got an oceanfront house, a business, and doesn't want to be bothered with the truth. The thing that's so wonderful about this open hunk of ocean, he said it's a private beach down there. I said, really? Is it illegal for me to be out here right now? He said it's a private beach. I said, is it against the law for me to be walking out here right now? And he repeated it. It's a private beach. It was a deception. He wanted to get me to shut the heck up or move on along and tell somebody who cares. Well, I did, and I will. I just don't know who those people are that really love the truth. The last thing I mentioned to him was I said, well, most people believe the lie they want to believe. 2 Thessalonians says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. How about that? Yeah. How about that? Isn't that special? So we've got all-powerful, all-knowing God who allows human difficulty, tragedy, and he works it together in a tapestry of life and experience and hope and tragedy and new life in Christ. I thought I was born again over 35 years ago until I actually was on Reformation Day of 2014, also known as Halloween, whilst the blood-drinking, human-sacrificing Satanists celebrate their wicked master, Satan. There's a battle going on, two families. The moon, or I should say the sun is masculine according to the Bible, and in many locations not moving. The earth isn't moving. In Joshua 10, God caused the sun to stop moving. Meanwhile, also moving is the moon, and is feminine. Artificial intelligence is very powerful, manipulating humanity, giving a false reality, a false perception of this world. People get so frustrated with life that they'll immerse themselves into sometimes digital distraction, which is going to lead them down a path with a lot of deception. So I encourage people to get out and enjoy life, walk on the beach, go to a nature preserve, enjoy the beauty and majesty of creation. In the view, looks like we've got a man and a woman and another man, but they're doing some photography there. And a whole symphony of humanity. And I'll zoom in on them and I'll talk about it. The men, women, excuse me, children, surfers, dog walkers, widows, widowers, newlyweds, people celebrating their anniversary. This is the 50th anniversary of the moon landing hoax. Space may be the final frontier, but it's filmed in a Hollywood basement. Yeah, how about that? It doesn't mean that the Red Hot Chili Peppers have all the truth nailed. Did Stanley Kubrick really film it, record it? Could be. You can, I'll hashtag Stanley Kubrick in some of his videos on YouTube. I'm going over to library, by the way, as well. LBRY, you can hashtag it. I've got a unique referral link that I'm putting on my new videos. It's a blockchain-based digital marketplace. I'll just be giving it away. But if you want to help me put a little bit more fuel in my tank, you can subscribe to Library and participate through my individual link, or a friend of a friend, or a friend. I don't mind. It's not, I don't need to have that happen so I can keep doing what I'm doing. I'll just keep doing whatever I can do for however long it is. I mean, I could be a homeless person again, go into the library to updating a status, or meeting somebody with a smartphone on the beach. I've met homeless people with smartphones. Yeah, how about that? It happens. One of them was an executive for the southeastern region of the Hilton Corporation. I meet executives, people working with the CIA, the NSA, the Department of Defense, the DOD. Langley, Virginia is right up the road. There's a lot of NASA shirts around here. And I'm sure that those individuals wearing them and wearing a smile are unaware that they're promoting a godless cosmic Big Bang and a false religion and fantasy. If you look at the origin of NASA, a bunch of war criminals, Nazi war criminals and Satanists, Jack Parsons of JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and Aleister Crowley and Sex Magic and all kinds of wacky, weird, evil stuff, okay? If what I just said sounds bizarre, it is. You can look at MK Ultra and Laurel Canyon and mind control and the empowering of Satan's children, or maybe unknowing participants of a mind control deception on humanity through celebrity worship and the a lot of the Illuminati and celebrities. Who's this? You can't handle the truth, or can you? Can you? Well, the truth handles me. I'll just do what I was created to do, and everybody can deal with that. Same zoom. I'll just gently pan on over. There's two different movements independent with the sun and the moon. I'm going to cover it in this video from this vantage point. The moon is setting in the southwest from this vantage point down in the middle of the view. And it rose over the ocean in about the middle of the view over here. Okay? So it rose there and is going to set there. Meanwhile, from this vantage point, if I were here trying to see the sunrise, it would have come up in the middle of the view there. I've got evidence of it in my broadcast. And then set in the middle of the view there. So it rose at about 58 degrees north and will set at northeast and set at about 300 degrees northwest. Two different movements, definitely not explainable by one uniform rotation of supposedly the Earth. So the Earth is stationary and level. The wind and water and people move about, move to and fro. I've flown coast to coast. The plane time is about the same. I've driven coast to coast, high as a kite, averaged 55 mpg with a modified diesel Volkswagen. When I got to a 7 to 10% grade, my fuel economy dropped to about 10 to 12 miles per gallon. From here to California would supposedly be over 650 miles of curvature, 325 miles up and down, and that's over a 30% grade. 8 inches per mile squared, earthcurvature.com. You can look it up if you care to. You might find it amusing. I've had people say, wow, I've spouted more ignorance than for multiple people. All right, well, whatever. I left the comment up. It's on one of my videos. I just hashtagged my playlist and of my liked videos and my playlist of the Bible. Well, a lot of people don't like the Bible. They want to do their own thing. Oh well. Oh well. I'm not responsible for the results of what I do. I'm just responsible for the obedience of what I do. I use the Tides Near Me app. You can check it out if you care to. It'll give the tidal activity from around the world. Pretty accurate projections here. I can't verify the projections everywhere. And it also tells the percentage of the moon and when the sun and the moon appear and vanish on the horizon, which, by the way, varies over 3 hours. the duration of visibility between the sun and the moon, because they're moving. The seasons change, the people change. Do you know how much a gallon of water weighs? Well, that depends on the temperature. The temperature changes the volume and density of water. It drives the whole hydrologic cycle, powers the earth with electricity. We've got evaporation, condensation, precipitation in all its forms: rain, snow, sleet, fog, hydroelectric power, dams, reservoirs, nuclear power, water heated with nuclear reaction, coal, solar, oil, natural gas. A lot of ways to heat water. Some are more expensive, but that's water seeking its level too. Hot water is evaporating, moving turbines. You're not going to find a 300-pound guy doing what this young lady is doing right now, or a lady. You're not going to find 300-pound people normally doing that out here. It can be done, but it's pretty tough. So we get a lot of healthy, health-conscious people that are moving their body. They're on the move. Body in motion wants to stay in motion unless an outside force acts against it. I'm not unscientific. I just don't tolerate a bunch of haters hating on me. That was part of the reason why I created a bunch of hashtag titles. And of course, the Veeam, the upside down view of this world, showing the impossibility of life on a globe. It's not possible to live on a globe. The globe exists only in the imagination. Now, models of it appear in the classroom. However, we don't live on a globe. It's not possible. Nobody does, except in their imagination. So I'm going to zoom in on the moon, now upside down. That'll look a little weird. It'll look more weird when I put the sun, or I should say the water surface in the view. When I zoom in a long distance away and show upside down people running, jogging, walking dogs, all of that looks very different. I've got video of beach renourishment inverted out here. The tide is coming in right now, and it will till about 11:23 here. It's about an hour later in Myrtle Beach. So that's about enough of that. You get the idea. It's not possible. People will push themselves to the pier, and then they'll sometimes turn around and go back, sometimes not. Sometimes they'll keep on going. So I've got a few minutes left of this particular P1000 recording. And probably the end of the broadcast as well. I want to thank all my friends and family for the encouragement, public and private. I appreciate that. It's more than the shape of the earth, way more. Artificial intelligence, I'm convinced, can shut off the power grid wherever, whenever God allows it to happen. God is still sovereign. Imagine what a city like this, or New York City, would look like without electricity for a few days. What would that look like? You can look at the news, see what happens when the power grid goes down. A lot of what we're told is theater. It's problem, reaction, solution. Some would refer to it as the Hegelian dialectic. If you're watching somebody that fashions themselves as a watchman on the wall and they're exposing the globalists and they're not exposing the global lie, they're part of the deception whether you like it or not, whether they're aware of it or not. We homeschooled our sons. I volunteered at a mega church and I worked at a full-time ministry for 11 years. Rawhide Boys Ranch with Bart Starr, the Green Bay Packer. I was standing next to Bart Starr for a whole day while he signed autographs, and they were going to auction off his Corvette. I've met a lot of fascinating people. You know what? I'm a fascinating guy. I'm a new guy. I'm not the guy that I was. I've been changed. I've been given new life in Christ. That's why this matters. Because the truth matters. I thought I was born again over 35 years ago until I actually was on Reformation Day, 2014. I know I mentioned it earlier in this broadcast. Keep in mind I've got 2 other P1000 recordings that I've done along with it. That's why I mention it again. It's not that I'm forgetting my lines. Robin Williams would forget his lines towards the end of his life. Medications did that to me. I couldn't remember where the words were or what they meant. Robin Williams and I have a couple other things in common. My brother plaster casted both of our faces. We used to live in the California area. We lived in Seal Beach, Joni and I, when we were married in Huntington Beach. And so I went to Hollywood quite a bit. I went there and met some celebrities and got to know some of them a bit. Robin and I both struggled on and off of psychotropic medication, modification of our perspective. The drugs made me suicidal and homicidal. You don't hear about the homicidal part on the black box warning. They'll say you may have unusual thoughts, more frequent urination, or you may have suicidal thinking. Suicidal ideation is way more than just thinking of suicide. It's thinking about homicide as well. So I'm outing the big pharma. The kaleidoscope of conspiracies, many of them are mentioned on my channel, on my liked video playlist. I show it, talk about it. I want to help set people free from the enslavement that they are in. Many of them don't know it. And they don't know by irony and paradox. What water does is it fills its container, seeks its level, covers the face of the earth, doesn't conform to an external shape in the form of a spinning water sphere hurling around the universe. It's all a big lie. I'm going to shoot the moon from this vantage point. I want you to think about that. We didn't land on the moon. I've got moon landing hoax videos. Funny thing happened on the way to the moon. Bart Sibrel did it, and astronauts gone wild. You can see it. You can see Buzz Aldrin paced Bart right in the chops. He just smacked him as hard as he could. Doesn't change the truth, Buzz. You're lying to humanity. Elon Musk lies, giving a false or a false perception of this world. They're liars. I'm outing them. That's what I'll do with it. I'll tell the truth, and everybody else can deal with that. So being set free from a life of addiction and hopelessness, yeah, good trade. I love to do what I get to do, and that's why I do it, because God created me to do this. This is RobertFoertsch with the YouTube channel Truth, and I have also got the name Truth on Library. You can check it out. Subscribe if you like. Go ahead and transfer a lot of your content over to Library. You can call me anytime if you want to have a channel and learn some of what you can do. I'm learning all the time, so I learn from others as well. Thank you so much. I just wanted to have the ending screenshot there. Thank you.